This video is sponsored by JK Army. JK Army has provided one or more of the parts that are featured in this video. Everything that I will be saying during this video is still my honest opinions. If I don't like it, I will let you know, and if I like it, I will let you know. And I will also give all of my opinions that I have in relation to this product. Honestly, I have not been influenced to say anything. JK Army has not told me to say anything about this product. If you are interested in picking up this part, you can check it out on their website. They have this part as well as many other parts similar to it. So definitely check them out because they are now sponsoring my channel, which is very awesome. So thank you, JK Army. Now let's get into the video. All right, so today I am taking a look at the JLP or JL Progression Amphibious red dot sight mount. This is another one of the parts that JK Army sent out to me to do a video on, which is super awesome. And I'm going to show you guys how this mount is going to work, and I'm going to go over it with you guys, okay? So we have a bunch of like hardware and stuff in here. Obviously, we'll take a look at this stuff in a little bit. For now, we'll just put it off to the side because I'm having a hard time opening that. This obviously is going to be a red dot mount. It takes 3 different patterns of red dots. Honestly, I don't know what the other 2 are. I will have to look on the website for that. But it does for sure take your RMR type red dots, right? And then it has 3 basically holes here. And then it has a hole here for the detents to lock into, and I'll show you how that's going to work in a second. Basically, this mount has 2 ways of mounting onto your gun. There is an easy way, and then there's a semi-permanent way. I'm going to show you the easy way in this video, but I'll explain the semi-permanent way in a little bit. So easy way, basically, it goes onto most Hi-Capa frames. Essentially how it works is this little hole here is going to lock into your slide catch detent. And then this hole is going to basically, you'll put a pin through, and this will replace your slide catch, right? And then when you put it on, it should line up pretty flat with your frame. If it does not line up flat with your frame, you will have to do the semi-permanent install method instead of the easy method. But as you can see, this is a Hero Kit advanced frame. This one fits perfectly fine on here, which is awesome. And then I have, let's move that out of the way. I have a stock frame here, because obviously most people are going to have a stock frame. This does fit perfectly onto the stock frames as well. And again, it's going to be pretty much flat on the top there, which is what you need. It's hard to line up right now because the stock frames are not as tight as the advanced frames, but pretty flat, and that's all you need. As long as it's pretty dang close to flat, you're good to go. If it's way off of flat, then you will have to do the semi-permanent method, which this frame actually would have to do if I put it onto this frame. Maybe in the future I'll show you guys, but for now I'll just show you that it, in some cases, it's not going to fit. And if that's the case, you will have to do the permanent method. So this one, if I try to do it, it just does not actually lock into the detent at all. It just is floating around, unfortunately. And that's obviously not going to work, right? And that's just because, for whatever reason, this frame was a little bit out of spec. I think I might have got this frame, I might have got it during COVID. Might have been before, but for whatever reason, this frame and this batch of frames was out of spec. So just if your frame's out of spec, unfortunately, you will have to do the permanent method. And what you do for the permanent method is you remove these 2 screws here, and then you will have to line it up, and you have to drill and tap some screw holes into your frame. And then you will use the, they do include the screws you need once you gel and tap it in here. And you'll just put these screws in place of these dummy screws, basically, right? Today I'm not going to do that hard method. I'm just going to show you the easy method. But yeah, let me just put this back together. So we are going to be putting this onto my island barrel salient pistol here. Now, obviously, you need to remove your slide catch. So slide catch is gone. And you don't have to remove anything necessarily. I will, just to make things easier for me, because we do need to replace the detent. They include a fancy detent in here that is a non-rounded detent. So these, the black screws that are included in here, these are all for the red dot mounts, or for mounting the red dot onto the mount. So sorry, that might be confusing. Those go on the red dot, not on the actual this part. These two silver screws are the ones that you would use if you do the permanent method. But today we just need these two for now, the detent and this pin. So this detent is a square detent, so it should lock into place a lot better than the rounded one will. Although I personally haven't tried this before, so we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, we can go ahead and remove the detent. So we just need to flick the selector switches all the way up and then pop them out. And be careful about the spring. You don't want to launch it across the room. And then we just got to dump out our parts from here. Okay, those are gone. So this is the thing that we were replacing. We don't need this anymore. Right, so this silver one is our new piece. This can shove into here. And we just got to put it back together. Now that does not seem like it's wanting to go. Let's see here. All right, so this pin is definitely not going to work on at least my advanced frame, which I think is okay, because it seems to me like the normal detent is going to work. I'll probably in the future do a little bit of experimentation. Maybe this works with a stock frame, but definitely does not work with my frame that I have here. So we'll just put this back together. Honestly, I don't think we need that part. It seems like it fits without it. But maybe you should try to see if it fits with yours. It just doesn't fit with mine. This is always the scary part. Okay, so we'll go ahead, go forward with this. I think this will work just fine, personally, because when I put it on there, it does line up. If I get it, it was doing it earlier. There's no way it's going in. So I will go ahead and just modify real quick, just a tiny bit, this detent, so it'll work. It should go in there just fine if I just shave it down just a tiny bit. It looks like it's just barely off. This one is definitely not going to go into my frame. This is like a steel pin, and it's not going to happen. But we should be able to get this one in. So because This just barely doesn't fit. It's not completely off. Like this gun, it's completely off on. This one just barely doesn't fit. We can take a steel file and just take away just a little bit of material on the pin. And then basically you'll have to just make sure it's oriented the correct direction when it's in the gun. Need to rotate. This is not it. We are very, very close. Okay, yep, that is it. We got it. Okay. So that is all good to go now. So now we can put our safeties back on. Let's not launch this across the room. Okay, all right, that's good. And then we know that the detent is fine now, so we can go ahead and put the slide on. And let's go ahead and throw this on here. Let's make sure, yep, it is locked in good. Okay, so now we just need to get this pin through. And I don't actually know which way this pin goes, so we will find out here together. If I have the slide all the way on. Okay, yeah, that looks like that's the correct direction. And then this one goes in from this side. Okay. See, that's good, and that's good. Okay, so we need 2.5. Do I have 2.5? Should. 2.5. Okay, you need 2 screwdrivers for this part. Ooh, maybe it should actually go the other way, possibly, because that screw looks kind of odd. No. That's just how it is. Okay, so yeah, we'll make sure that side is all flush, and this side can be unflush. All right. So basically we can get it started, but we will have to have a screwdriver on one side, and that will hold it steady, and then we got to screw it in from the other side. So this is a little bit awkward, but once you get it okay, or started for the most part, it should be fine. Okay, so it's on now. Let's double check that it is centered, which it is good still. Gun racks perfectly fine. So yeah, there we have it. You do want to make sure that if you look the side, unfortunately it's probably going to be awkward. You just want to make sure that it's like at least like extremely close to parallel, which this is. So this red is pretty parallel with the slide, and it needs to be like that. You don't want it to be like aiming upwards or anything stupid like that. But that's all set, and that's good to go there, which is, that's good. And then we can actually, now we can add a red dot. I have an Olight red dot here. And this will use the screws that they include. I think we will need the long ones. Yep, this will be good. And this is actually kind of difficult to get on camera. I didn't think about this. And once the red dot is on, you want to make sure that the screws, they don't stick out super far underneath. So these ones are fine. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but these ones are fine. They do stick out a tiny bit, but that's no issue at all. If they stick out too far, you need to either use the other screws or you're going to have to sand the screws down to make them shorter. But so now we have the mount on here, and red dot. Look down the sights. I think. Yeah, it is turned on. But now it's mounted to the frame, so it is not going to move with the slide. So slide moves completely separately from the red dot. That's different from like on this gun, I have it mounted on the slide and the red dot moves with the slide. That's not preferable. It works. But this is definitely the better choice because you're not adding a bunch of extra weight onto the slide. And it's also keeping the red dot in the same exact place. The red dot is not moving all over the place when you shoot, which is definitely better than it jumping around all over the place. And this mount is pretty smartly designed. It's not in the way of cocking the gun, so you can very easily grab onto the back and rack it just like you would. It's hard for me to get on camera, but you can grab onto it just as you normally would. You could also do the underneath. On top might be a little bit weird if you're going on top in the front, but nobody really does that, I don't think. Typically you go underneath on the front or on top on the back, and those both are completely unimpeded with this mount, which is awesome. All right, that's about all I have to say. Unfortunately, I did have to modify my detent, which it's not crazy, and it's not, I've had to do it before for some slide catches and other things like that, or for thumb rests and stuff like that. So it's not a crazy thing. A lot of you have probably done it before. Just be aware that you might have to do that. But I do know for a fact that if I would have put it on the stock one or on the Hero Kit one, I wouldn't have had to do anything because those ones both fit perfectly. This one, for whatever reason, I thought it was, but it's just a tiny bit off. But yeah. And then these two screws are just for looks. If you do the permanent method, these screws will be replaced with the longer screws. And the cool thing with the permanent method is if you do the permanent method, you can just unscrew this front screw and you can take the slide off for maintenance and stuff like that, without having to remove the red dot mount. But that's only if your rear sight is not going to be in the way. Right now, the stock rear sight is in the way. But if you get a charging handle on it, it will take the rear side out of the way, and you should be able to just easily just pop the slide on and off, which is cool, right? That's all I have there. I hope this got you as much information as you needed, but I am going to let you go. So have a wonderful day. There we go, that's probably good. Yeah, that's good, I think. All right, yep, that's the thumbnail. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was useful for you. And make sure you check out the link down below. That is a link to our Discord server, and you are welcome to join. All right, have a nice day.